also for running in the FTO elections.
Thank you.
Yeah, so basically today is going to be a bit more of an informal like introduction to yourself um, for everybody that's watching. So I just thought I'd ask you, I've got a couple of questions that I'm asking everybody, and hopefully it acts as a bit of an opportunity for us to get to know you. So cool. My first question to you is, can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Okay, thank you for that question. My name is Wilfred Obi. I'm actually a current master's student in studying construction project management. I actually
Mm-hmm.
like to serve. I like to do things for people to be happy. I just like to work for everybody. It's a call, it's just an instinct for me that anywhere I find myself, I want to take up some voluntary role to make everybody happy.
Cool. Okay. Nice. That's interesting. And what are your hobbies? Like, what do you like to do in your spare time? What do you enjoy doing?
Oh, okay. Basically, I love to read books. I read a lot. I have lots of books. I'm not so much into films. I read books, basically books. That's what I love doing. I also like to swim.
Mm-hmm.
I love driving. I love to drive cars. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that's it.
What books in particular do you like
Uh,
reading?
okay, I read lots of fiction books. Books
Mm-hmm.
that talks about that are entertaining. Some love
Mm-hmm.
novels as well. And then I also pick books on technology just to know what is happening, the new um, invention in town, to
Mm-hmm.
know what is happening around me and all that. Generally, any book I pick, I just like to read to know what is there. Instead of watching films, I prefer to read books. If you have a film and then you have a book and they are saying the same story, I would prefer to read it through books than watching it through the film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's interesting. And bit of a big question, but who would you say your hero is and why?
Okay, basically, for me, the person I can call my hero is Obama, the former
Mm.
president of United States, Barack Obama. Because even when he was not given a chance because of his color and all that, many people thought that he's not going to win the presidency, but he persevered, and then he became the most powerful man in the world. So
Mm.
anytime I also read one of his books, Audacity of Hope. I read it, and
Mm-hmm.
anytime I remember Obama, it keeps me on. It fires me up that I can achieve anything if I'm consistent and
Mm.
if I believe in myself that anything is possible.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely an inspirational guy. Do you have any like personal heroes, like anybody in your life in particular that you know personally that inspires you?
Oh, basically, my dad
Mm.
is my hero, personal hero. He's a disciplinarian.
Mm.
Of course, I was not born in the UK here, but
Mm.
back where I'm from, we believe so much in discipline, and I received part of those discipline, and I can say that that played a role in who I am today.
Okay.
Basically, when those discipline were going on, I wasn't happy with it. But later on in life, I could see that those discipline were kind of a guide to me. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
being disciplined, is not abuse. Sometimes my dad could deny me some things I like, just for me to read my books, and it
Mm.
was part of the reason that made me to like to read because of that
Mm-hmm.
discipline.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's really interesting. So you've got your dad and
Mhm.
Obama.
Yeah.
Um, and another big question If money had no value, where would you live and why?
Again, please come again.
So if you could live anywhere, where would you
Mm.
live?
Oh, if I can live everywhere, anywhere, honestly, I will prefer to live in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would prefer to live. But my second choice is actually in the UK here, especially in
Mm-hmm.
Scotland, because Scotland is kind of calm, conservative,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything is actually very orderly here. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit boring. America, life is boring here a bit, but America is a happening place. And then
Yeah.
I can also say that the task here is also something else from what I've read too. I think
Mm-hmm.
the task is a bit less burden in America.
Interesting. In what?
Then
So,
if I will just add one more, apart
of
from these two
course.
places, I also like my village.
Yeah, that's
My village,
nice.
yes. There's this communal life in our village. We have communal
Mm,
life. You can access anybody's house at any time, and they're not going to
mhm,
feel bad about it. You laugh together. You stay and you
mhm,
tell stories. It's kind of very
mhm,
interesting. You go fishing together, go hunting
mm,
together, go to farm together, and then play
mhm,
together. But in the
mhm.
Western world, everybody's kind of on his own. There's this privacy thing, I
Yeah,
need my privacy. I need my privacy. So
yeah, for
it's
sure.
not good. Mm,
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very different, I guess, from where you come from versus Scotland.
mm.
And my last question for you today is, if you had it, so if you were at a karaoke night, what would you sing and why?
Pardon?
If you were at a karaoke night,
Okay.
what would you sing and why?
I will maybe I don't know if singing Bob Marley's song is permitted there, but
Mm-hmm.
I would like to sing his song because most of his song is about justice, and
Mm,
he talks to people, talks to leaders, and then he speaks for those who are oppressed. That's just the reason
mm.
why I will go for some of Bob Marley's song.
Oh, that's really lovely. Thank you so much. All right,
Yeah,
thanks,
thank you.
Wilfred. That
Okay.
was basically your time.
Mm.
And there's a couple of other candidates. I'm just going to remove you from the stream. But
Okay,
thank you so. Go on, go
okay,
on.
so there will be no question of what we are going to do if we are elected.
So that is in next. That's in the next stream. I'm not sure if you saw the email that or the jot form that went around, but that will be on Thursday where we'll talk more specifically
Uh,
about your what you want to do. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Wilfred.
all
I'll
right,
see you soon.
thank you. Yeah, bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Hi, Daniel. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me all right?
Hi. So how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Just getting ready to interview everybody. So yeah, as I said to Wilfred, this is a bit more of an informal like stream, and then on Thursday we're going to talk more specifically about what you plan to do, if that's all right.
Okay.
So okay, cool. So my first question to you is, can you tell me a little bit about your
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So my name is Daniel Anu. I'm from Nigeria, Delta State to be precise. I lived in Abuja. From undergraduate, I studied international relation and diplomacy. And at the moment now, for my master's, I'm doing international economy and social justice. So
Mm,
after school, I got engaged in ECOWAS, We carried out some projects. We worked with the political department, and just really exciting. And it was fun because it actually gave me this exposure to the international community. To be precise, we focus more of the West African states, their relation in terms of economy and social welfare. It was a really awesome experience there.
Okay, interesting. And what outside of uni do you like to do? What are your hobbies and interests?
For my I love playing football.
Okay,
I'm a
okay.
Chelsea fan. I blow all the way. I love playing football. Also, at the same time, I love playing badminton as well. I love sports a lot. Playing I'm playing chess. That's really one area I really like to focus on. I focus on my manifesto, increasing of sports activities in the school.
Mm-hmm. Did you say your favorite football team? Did you tell me what your
Yeah,
favorite football team is?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's tricky. That's a tricky one. I'm not. My dad is an Arsenal fan, so yeah,
Um,
bit of
so,
rivalry there, I expect. But yeah,
so which team do you support?
me probably. I used to really support Man United, but I'm not really that much into football.
Oh,
Basically.
that's
Not really.
fine.
Not really, but I was a Man United fan, yeah. Okay, cool. Next question. This is a bit of a deeper question, but can I ask you who is your hero and why?
Who is mine?
Your hero, who inspires you?
Okay. Well, firstly, I would say I have like lots more than one hero. I'll first start with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll say it's my hero because he's has been very, very supportive to me in terms of I know he's a father, and as a dad, is expected I have to play this father role and all. But aside that, we have this close relation where he asks me, he always like calls to check on me, asks me whether I'm fine. And since when I got here, I since when I got here in Glasgow, he has always been like checking up on me to see my well-being. And not only that, he also like counsel me as well. Counsel me, okay, this is what I'm to expect. Like, well, moving over here now, it's not going to be easy. Coming to a new community, meeting new people. So he always counsel me, talk to me. He's always there. Like anytime I need him, he's always there. I think that's one of the most important thing there. The fact that once I call him, if he doesn't pick if he misses the call, but once he sees the missed call, he'll either send me a text message that he can't talk now. As soon as he's free, he'll give me a call, and he always gives me that call.
Oh, that's really lovely. Sounds like a great dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else that inspires you? Because you mentioned you had a few heroes.
Okay, so during my undergraduate, I had this lecturer of mine. Wrote to me. He was very at the moment now he's doing his PhD, so I think I should call him Doctor. Wrote to me. He was very, very supportive. Coming to the uni, he actually saw me through, where he counseled me and also mentored me during my undergraduate days. In terms of writing of essays, topic, and also career choice as well. What to expect, because then international relation is very broad. We have so many aspects to which you can work as and you can do. So he actually downstreamed it for me and gave me a better career path to follow.
That's nice. Okay, so you've got your dad and the lecturer. Both good heroes, I'm sure. Okay, next question I'm going to ask you is, where would you want to live if you could live anywhere, and why?
Well, I'll say Nigeria.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I so much love Nigeria, not because in Nigeria, but because of Nigeria, the people, it's people that makes a, a society, that makes a community. I But at the moment, due to the ongoing stabilities that we're facing now, I won't say I want to live there at the moment now, but if it was in a more conducive environment where we hope things get better, I'll say Nigeria. Also the culture, the people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's this saying that if you have a Nigeria as a friend, you're good to go. You'll never be sad. We have this energy of like we channel to people, in
Yeah.
terms of communicating, in terms of always supportive and all that.
Mm. That's really nice. What is Nigerian food like? What do you like eating? Oh, did you hear?
So I didn't get you.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking, what is your favorite Nigerian food?
Okay. Okay, so my favorite Nigerian food is apple and egusi soup,
Mm. Hmm.
and also the Nigeria jollof rice.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You should try that sometime.
Yeah, no, I know the debate between is it like Ghanaian and Nigerian. Yeah, it's quite a debate, isn't it?
And hopefully, if I'm elected, it's one of the plans to, bring other international dishes as well,
Mm,
from Nigeria to India to Pakistan, Ghana as well.
cool, cool. Well, definitely when if you're on the stream on Thursday, we can discuss more of your ideas then. But yeah, last question for you. What is your favorite song and why?
Wow, what's my favorite song?
It can be at the moment. What's your favorite song currently?
Okay, so my favorite song, I'll say Bob Marley, One Love. Yeah.
Nice, nice. How's that? Why the Bob Marley song?
Well, it's not just a song. It's
Mm,
actually like um, it's more of a message. It's more of a message than a song.
mm-hmm,
So he actually preaches for this one love. We actually need love
mm-hmm,
presently with the crisis that is going all over the world, from
mm-hmm,
Ukraine to Syria to Turkey, also down to Africa as well, in
mm-hmm,
Libya,
mm-hmm.
Congo. So we actually need love, one love.
One love,
Yeah.
exactly. That's a really lovely sentiment. And yeah, interesting that you and Wilfred have both mentioned Bob Marley. Clearly, he's an inspiration, I guess, for both of you guys. Okay, well, thank you so much, Daniel, for coming.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm gonna invite Rukaya onto the stream now, but yeah, I'll see you hopefully on the Thursday stream. But if not, good luck with campaigning, and yeah, I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Alice.
No
Bye.
worries. Yeah, bye, bye, bye. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you too?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. Just interviewing everybody. Got my tea. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for coming to the stream today. And
hmm
obviously thank you also for nominating yourself as a candidate. Yeah, basically today I'm just going to ask you, as you've probably seen, the same questions as Wilfred and Daniel, as just a bit of an introduction for everybody that's watching or will watch. So my first introduction is, my first question is, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So, my name is Rukayat Motorayo Kadri. I'm a student of International Business Management with Professional Practice, that's MSc, currently at GCU Glasgow campus. I am an international student. I came in, I migrated. Okay, no, I came in here to study from Nigeria, and actually I had a BSc in physical and health education,
Mm-hmm.
but I came in with my husband, so
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to actually pursue a career in international business operations management because I need to, because of my career all through, like since I finished my BSc, I've been fortunate to work in the import and export industry. So I have grown from being just a ordinary, like from the ordinary reception position. I grew into the ranks to become the assistant export manager of my firm before leaving to further my education in the UK. So this coming here is a great opportunity for me because I'm able to actually know how things work in the international community and not just be streamlined to just Nigeria, and makes me more globally informed and more than my peers back home, and I can actually utilize all the knowledge I learn,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm able to actually go back home and practice, you understand,
Yeah.
and build my country too, because obviously, like, there's really no place like home. We all try to make everywhere we are home, but at least we have to be able to contribute our own quota
Mm-hmm.
into our society. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe GCU is a place that's giving me so much opportunity because I'm not feeling, I really am not feeling like I'm not home because of the inclusion and because of the diversity. Everybody here, like people from different color, people of different colors, races, and everybody, everything, as in, and the fact that our lecturers will always try to always relate with everybody in class. Like you don't even feel like you're not in your own country. So I
Yeah.
just really love being here, and I actually would also love to be in a position someday to actually be able to impact people like that on a global level. So I think that's the
That's
little
you.
bit about myself. Yeah, thank
That's
you.
really interesting. Thank you. You didn't mention anything about your hobbies, so can I ask you what?
I'm sorry.
No worries, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love to listen to music and also watch movies. I also love surfing the internet for news. I love to know what's going on around me. I love
Mm-hmm.
to I love I love like impacting my knowledge. Like when I get new information, it's I love to spread like the knowledge around, like to know how people can also gain from it, because I believe we no one is an island of knowledge, and you have to spread in order to also receive. So, and I also like to carry people along. So
Mm-hmm.
I used to love sports, but I've not really been into sports recently. I used to love handball and also football, but have actually been less sporty recently. Then I also love food in a way. I'm not a foodie, but I love like love nice meals, like from all walks of life. Like I don't say no, because that makes me in a way I'm able to actually because I believe food represents a person's culture, and through eating the food, you're able to at least share in their culture. So, food is something to me that okay, I'm able to like from tasting different dishes and all that, you're able to actually these people to actually try to you're able to share in their culture. So then I really love being around honest people, and like it's and people who have the will to do, to know, and always want to strive to get better. Because I myself, I don't like remaining in with one point. I always love to, I strive for knowledge all the time. So I love when also people around me strive for knowledge, and I love to
Yeah.
carry people along also.
Lovely. Yeah, it's interesting the food thing, because that's how I see food in a similar way too. So yeah. My next question for you is, who is your hero and why?
My hero is my mom. Like,
Yeah.
if there's another way I can emphasize that, I actually will, like, in saying, because she the way, like, she showed me that a woman can be anything. Like, even with her, you really don't need to be under my, as in, you don't really have to wait for anybody to survive. You can strive to be yourself, and you can achieve whatever you just have to be focused. Because my mom, I have three brothers, and so there is no, you can't say you want to just be a girl. Like, I wasn't really pampered. I had to be boyish and be girlish sometimes, and so we had to do our own share of making the home. And also my mom, even the fact that my dad was always there, but my mom always taught us to be independent and not depend on anybody, because life can happen to anybody at any time. So
Mm,
I always saw her to always strive to be better at all times, and that has actually made me be the woman I am today. Because it's actually rare, because in the situation, in the country, and even in the times we are right now,
mm,
some parents actually, I don't know how will I put it, I don't know how, I'm not trying to judge, but I'm like, the way the value system and all is really, I really don't see, like, because of the way I was raised, like, some homes, you see that the value system is not really there, and they don't know that children, we really need to have, like, we have to have a value system incorporated into us. So I'm actually always grateful. Like, my mom has, in fact, she's my hero, isn't her? Even our mom is like, they are like people that, even if I don't, even anytime I'm like down or I need, she always knows what to say. She always knows what to, like, she just gets how things work, and I really appreciate that. Like, she's my hero. Like, there's nobody I can even come close to that. So, like, my number one hero. Like, she's my number one fan. Like, everything.
that's really beautiful. I'm sure your mum would really like appreciate you saying that about her
Yeah,
too. That's really lovely. Okay, last
yeah,
question.
thank you.
No worries, no worries. My last question for you. I'm gonna skip the where would you live question, but I'm gonna ask you finally, what is your favorite song and why?
My favorite song,
Or it could be currently. What are you listening to? What's your favorite song right now?
now.
Hmm. Tell me.
Right now, I think I love the because it's really hard in the sense that, because most um I just, okay, let me just say generally, I love Burna Boy, and I love Wizkid also, because
Mhm,
their songs doesn't they don't portray, like, they tend to speak about how people, things affecting people. Like, they are not, in a way, I don't feel they are selfish with their song, like, just to make money. Though, of course, the aim is to make money and all that, but at least they still try to impact um some kind of knowledge, or the kind of awareness into what is actually going on in our society. So I
mhm,
think, especially born, at least they really try, because a lot of that, in a way, our generation, we're able to connect through music, because most times we don't even have time to sit on the to know what is going on TV. But those people, they try to always keep let us know, okay, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, we need how we need to be better.
Mhm. Mm.
You understand? So I think, and so I think I'll actually comment um as my best musician, and I love jazz songs.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, that is
Okay.
basically time, but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
No worries at all. I hope to see you on Thursday on the stream. I'll ask you more about your manifesto and what you want to do.
All right. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank you
much.
so much. Have a good evening. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Gonna add Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi Alex, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. Basically, I don't know if you know the purpose of the stream, but we're just using this as a bit of an opportunity for people to get to know you. So I'm going to just be asking some questions about yourself and your interests and hobbies. So firstly, can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Jennifer Abali, and I had my undergraduate degree in pharmacy. I'm studying for a master's in public health, and I'm a current full-time officer. Basically, I love impacting lives. One of my aspirations is trying to make everyone happy, which I know is not possible. But yeah, I actually love traveling. I travel a lot, and yeah, and I love leading people. I love making a change. I love motivating people and also encouraging people. Yeah.
Cool, interesting. Where have you enjoyed traveling?
Actually, okay, last year I actually did a very miserable trip. So I traveled to 3 countries in 10 days. So I actually went from Scotland to England.
Mhm.
Then from England, I traveled to the Netherlands. From Netherlands, I went to Spain,
Mm.
and from Spain, I went to Belgium. Yeah, so it was
Okay.
really stressful though. Yeah, but
Yeah.
then it was worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like an interesting trip for sure. So you mentioned your hobbies. Remind me what they were again. I got sports, traveling.
Traveling, cooking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, cooking. What do you like?
Mm,
What sort of food?
okay. Basically, I actually love cooking African foods because that's what I know how to cook best. Yeah, but aside cooking, I actually love baking. But
Mm,
then the best food I actually cook is jollof rice. So it's like Nigerian jollof rice.
mm,
Yeah, so that's like my top notch food. So I actually love cooking jollof rice. Yeah.
nice, 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 nice. One of the other candidates also mentioned he likes cooking jollof rice. So yeah,
You know,
must be good to make. Okay, next question. Who is your hero and why? You can have like multiple heroes and just interested in knowing.
who is my hero? First of all, I wasn't expecting that question. Yeah, but uh, that's tough. That's tough. Actually, for me, growing up, I actually looked up to Dr. Ben Carson. So he's a Black American neurosurgeon.
Mm,
Like growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor. So yeah, I was looking up to him because he actually separated Siamese twins. Yeah, I think it was the first black doctor to separate Siamese twins, and yeah, they were alive. So yeah, he did a successful surgery. So growing up, he was my hero actually. Growing up, but
mm.
right now I don't know because I actually didn't study medicine after all. But yeah, I looked up to him. But right now, I don't know. Like I can't even place. I don't think I actually have a hero. Maybe my mom actually. Yeah,
Oh
my mom. I can
yeah.
always look up to my mom because yeah, I feel like she's very supportive. I feel like she's everything I want to be, really. Like physically, she's my hero. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. Can I ask you why? Like, what is she? Is she there, like, supportive, or what's she doing with you?
Yeah, she's supportive, and yeah, my mom is someone who like really goes for what she wants, really.
Mm,
And she's so my mom didn't have like a higher education degree, right? So she tries to make sure that, because she didn't have that highest level of education, she really wanted to go to like a university of stuff, but she didn't have the opportunity. So she's she made sure that we all have like the best education. Yeah. So I see that as a really huge thing, like she's really supportive. Yeah, she's someone I can just always call and like talk to, and like, I mean, whatever I'm literally going through, I can just call her, including going if I'm going through a heartbreak, I can just call her. I'm like, okay, I just broke up, so
yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
you.
Like, what's your advice on this situation? Yeah, I see it. I see it. And next question for you is: if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's somewhere in Maldives.
Mm,
Yeah, I actually love the fact that it's an island. I think for me, I actually like serene environment. Like I don't like the loudiness or craziness of the city. I actually want to just hide. Do you understand? Yeah. So for me, like I would really want to live in Maldives. Like maybe that's gonna be my retirement plan. Who knows? Yeah.
yeah.
There's somewhere really quiet, somewhere really like away from the noisiness, somewhere really away from the world. Yeah. That's where I would
Okay.
love to live.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a very beautiful place for sure.
Yeah.
And last question for you is: what is your favorite song and why?
Okay, I actually love R&Bs. My favorite song is Photograph by Ed Sheeran. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this love in the photograph. Yeah, that's my go-to song. Like
Oh,
whenever I go to any karaoke, that's the song I know how to sing best. So it's my
okay.
favorite song. Yeah.
Okay. How come? Why Ed Sheeran photograph? What's so special about that one?
Uh, it's a R&B festival, and I feel like Ed Sheeran sings like from his lungs, really. Like I feel like I can actually relate to his music, even though his music are quite emotional music, but I feel like I can relate to the lyrics. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it just like calms me listening to it, listening, trying to like think about the lyrics and all of it. So I actually love Ed Sheeran for that, because my songs are like pure, like real
Yeah,
music. Yeah.
yeah. No, he's a really talented guy. The
Yeah.
amount of like songs that he puts out for sure is crazy. He's a very talented man. Um,
Mm.
that basically was all my questions for you. So I just wanted to thank you for coming. Hopefully I'll see you on the stream on Thursday, where I can ask you like more specific questions about your why you're rerunning,
Okay.
or running in the elections. And yeah, thank you so much for coming and good luck with your preparations for the elections.
All right. Thank you.
See you soon. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Um, Sarah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yes.
have
Hello.
to jump on for a bit
No
because
problem.
just waiting for the other people to start. Do you want to? Should I ask you the same questions?
Well, I find it a little funny
Yeah,
because I come from America,
yeah,
but I also come from a small town in America. So it's one of
yeah,
those ones when people go, "Oh, I want to live in America. It seems like it's so progressive and so cool." And I'm
yeah.
like, "That's New York. If you come to where I'm from, it is not that."
Love that. Yeah.
So, yeah, America's a huge place. And then also Jennifer's comment about the mountains. I also come from the mountains.
Mm,
So, yeah, so that was a little funny. I was like, oh, I am from a small town America in the mountains. So,
yeah.
and I've chosen to move here to Scotland
Yeah.
because I
Um,
like Scotland for what it is. And I find it more progressive than America. I like that it doesn't get hot and cold like it does in the mountains.
mm,
Yeah, so It's one of those ones, I guess the grass is always greener on the other side.
Exactly.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So perhaps we should talk about, while we waiting for the other candidates, about how voters can cast their vote and
Of course.
how our voting system works.
Yeah, of course. Of
Is that
course.
okay? Are you
Yeah, of
okay with
course.
that?
I'm really
Okay.
happy to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're going to go to vote, what you need to go to is your gcustudents.co.uk/vote, and
Mhm.
that's where you can cast your vote. You'll also be sent an email very early on in the election, usually Monday morning around 10:30 a.m. And in that has a direct link to go and vote. So you can go to that email and press the vote now link, and that will take you directly to the vote. So you don't have to sign in and do all the rest of it if you're on a computer you use regularly. Um, we're going to be using the single transferable vote. Do you know what that is, Alice? When I say single transferable vote, what that
I have,
means?
I have a vague idea from last time,
Okay.
but tell me,
Yeah,
remind.
so go ahead, tell me what you think it means, and I will help fill in the details.
Oh gosh, if I'm correct in thinking, isn't it when you can vote for multiple people? Like
Yes,
you're choosing like
exactly.
one, like your top one. Obviously, you choose to prioritize your top candidate, but then there's the
Yeah,
other.
exactly. So when you go to vote, you're going to be able to prioritize your candidates, or what we call preferences. So you'll
Mm,
be able to put in your preferences, like you want to put this person as your first preference, this person as your second preference, fourth, fifth. Now we have 30 candidates running in the election, so you can do it all the way up to 30 if you like. We highly, highly recommend you do it to at least 4, because that is your full-time officer team. The top 4 candidates who place in the elections become our vice presidents and presidents. The top one is offered
mm,
the role of president.
mm,
So it's really important to put your preferences in. And we have a little bit of a different election here at GCU than other students associations, student unions use and other places. So, for example, we are only running one election spot for 4 people. Other places will have like a vice president education, or a vice president welfare, or a vice president communities, for example. And only the top placing candidates, when they register, have to register, nominate themselves for one of those specific roles, and then
mm,
only the top person in that becomes the candidate who wins that role, that title.
mm,
So that really means in those kind of elections that first place preference really only matters. Now, that's not our election though. Our election, like I say, really matters on preferences. So it's really important. I want to get this message out. It's so important to put down your preferences, because it's not just the first place and the second place and the third. It's about first, second, third, and fourth place at least.
mm,
So usually when I run the actual election at the end, it's all done by computers now, because it is very hard to count election like this by hand. Also helps um, reduce any of biases that might
mm,
come through the system. So it's done by computer, and I do notice that. You notice that usually there's a couple candidates who were at, like, in the first place with the first preferential votes, so it's tabulating who got most first preferential votes. Then there's a couple candidates who are doing pretty well
mm,
as we go through the rounds, because what happens is that in each round, we will have to, if somebody hasn't reached the quota to get elected, then the last person on that, the last place person, they get eliminated. And the votes that you guys cast then get retabulated to other people.
mm,
Hence why it's important, because your vote won't go to waste. In other words, it's about trying to maximize your vote, so to make it most important to you.
mm,
So usually what I'll see is, as we go through the rounds and people are getting eliminated and their votes are getting recalculated all by computer, recalculated to other candidates, you will see most times than not an election somebody who had a lot of high first place preferences actually didn't get the second, third, or fourth place preferences they needed to keep up that vote and as the rounds go. And often I have seen people who didn't get a lot of first place preferences. Well, they did okay. They're still pretty high, but they weren't in the top four at first
Mm,
place preference at the first round. But they, because they had a lot of preferences later on, or second preferences or third preferences from the voters, they get the tallies up
mm,
as it goes up. So
mhm,
I just want to explain our very unique system. It is, well, actually, single transferable votes, not that unique. It's actually the vote system that's used in the Scottish parliamentary elections, which is
mm,
why we also use it here at GCU. It's also used in most of your other student association, student union elections. But because we have that one election, four spots, it becomes really important about preferences. So I want to
mhm,
drive that home to the voters. Vote preferences, please.
mhm. Yeah, that's really interesting. Like, I think my old uni, we didn't have that option,
Mm.
so I think it's important that
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, because 'cause you're at Manchester, and that was funny because you follow
yeah, yeah,
Manchester U. I was like, "Oh, you follow
yeah,
Manchester United because
yeah,
you went to University of Manchester."
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
At least
yeah, it was quite a weird when I realized, oh, I'm going to Manchester when I was like 6. It was my favorite football team, and
oh, is it before you
yeah,
went to university?
yeah,
Okay. Did you go
yeah.
to university because that is where your favorite football team was? So
No,
you go see the
yeah,
football?
literally, I did not see Man United play like
Oh,
a single time when I was in Manchester.
okay, really? That's really ironic,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I should have.
Probably had somewhere
Yeah,
maybe in the back of your head and calculating where you're gonna go. It
yeah.
probably did influence you, and then you don't go see them.
Genuinely, yeah, genuinely, and also randomly, a lot of the like bands and the music that I like, they were all from Manchester in like the 80s and 90s.
Yes,
So it was like, wow,
yes.
like I remember being like 19 and being like, oh my god, I'm going to the place that these bands are from and that this football team plays. So yeah, it was
Yeah, that's actually why I moved to Glasgow. I'm from America, from a small town. I did
yeah,
move out of the small town when I went to university, though. I
yeah,
moved to other small towns anyways, but at least there was a university there.
yeah,
Um, but I moved to Scotland, Glasgow specifically because of the music scene. Now, I moved
mm,
here about 15 years ago,
mm,
and the music scene was hot and awesome. I was young, and it was
mm,
amazing, and it still is. So
yeah,
it is funny how often things like music or sports clubs or
exactly.
cultural stuff influences where we go
Yeah,
in our lives.
exactly. Who was
Yes.
who was in that Glasgow scene then? 15
At
years.
that time, a lot of what was coming out a little bit before was especially Arab Strap, Belle and Sebastian.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Franz Ferdinand was just hitting it big as I was coming in.
Mm,
So also then there was like Orange Juice and My Bloody Valentine and a lot of older bands that were also Glasgow deep. So
oh,
yeah, and I was big into music, um,
well,
into alternative rock, I guess you could
yeah,
call it. Yeah.
yeah. I didn't realize like Belle and Sebastian were from
Oh
Glasgow.
yeah, they're total Glasgow. I have friends who know
That's
friends who know friends who know friends. And it seems like everyone in Glasgow, if you lived here for a while, you will
yeah,
start to know somebody who knows somebody who knows
yeah.
somebody
Who
who
knows
knows
it?
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's the same. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes.
And like even my Bloody Valentine in my head, they're like an American band, right?
Yeah,
I
no, I'm pretty
that's
sure I'm
right.
getting the right one right. It's My Bloody Valentine. Yeah. No, because oh, is that the one? Okay, am I getting it right? I'm the one
Yeah,
where Bobby Gillespie was their drummer
yeah.
originally. Pretty sure that's My Bloody Valentine because they actually come from the neighborhood I actually live in now.
Wow.
Um, I also moved to the neighborhood I live in now because it
Yeah,
has rockin' history of rock. People
yeah,
don't know that.
yeah,
I'm not gonna tell you where I live because you guys are gonna push up my rent. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a cool place,
That sounds
in
good. Yeah.
Glasgow, and it's kind of one of those ones where, like, Bobby Gillespie of the, what's his big band?
Bobby Gillespie.
Yeah.
I recognize the name. Hang on.
Oh, I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
my
no, me. Let
Spotify.
me. I'm doing a little
Um,
Google. Let me do a
Primal
little
Scream.
Google.
Primal Scream.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Bobby Gillespie
Oh
is
no.
Primal
Okay,
Scream.
okay, okay.
He
Jesus,
basically
Jesus
it
in the
was our
name.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also Creation Records, which is
Oh
kind of
wow.
started releasing a lot of those
Yeah.
early, well, 80s, the music of the 90s.
Mm,
The two people who started it were from the neighborhood.
mhm.
So yeah, it has a deep history of
Music.
music.
That's so
Yes.
cool. That's really crazy. Like I didn't kind of I guess I don't know that much about the music scene in Glasgow, but hearing all these bands like he after just doing a little Google, apparently he was in Jesus and the Mary Chain too.
Jesus and the Mary Jane. That's I always get my Bloody Valentine. Yeah, Jesus. I
Yeah,
apologize, big
no.
time. Jesus and
Yeah,
the Mary Chain
yeah,
is the
yeah,
one. Yeah, my Bloody Valentine. I think is from LA. More I think of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I always get those two mixed up, and I
I
don't know
don't
why.
know though, because I just Googled it and it did say they're from a British Irish rock band.
They might
That's
have other. I think because
maybe.
they were some of them were from the neighborhood. It's more the
Yeah,
people who released it because it was on Creation Records.
that's
Um, and I think yeah, because it was like by the time they were in university, they
yeah,
were forming. So I don't think they're all from the neighborhood, and they weren't like playing in gigs around here per se in their
yeah,
back gardens. But it's still pretty cool to like
yeah.
live in this area.
Yeah, of course, because it has the history.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
especially if you're like in a small mountain town, dreaming of getting out, and the music is taking you out,
yeah,
then yeah,
that's
so it's
so
kind of
cool.
cool to be here when
Really
that
cool.
is kind of gave you
Yeah,
those first pangs of trying of wanting to leave. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Oh, have we got another candidate? Oh no, there's just two people with the same screen. But yeah,
oh, okay. So we
uh,
should have, just to tell voters, we have split the candidates who signed up into two bits, just to make
mhm,
sure you guys didn't go over time. We've had some candidates who did sign up who have withdrawn or not coming today. So hence why I'm filling your screen right now. But
yeah,
we will have more candidates who are expected to come at 5.
5 o'clock.
So that's why we're taking up some time.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the vote more.
yes.
So, yes, the vote opens on the 6th. So that's Monday the 6th at 10 a.m. And it will close at on the 9th of March, the Thursday, at 5 p.m.
Hmm.
Yes. And everyone will hear about the results. We're going to be going live. It's going to be streamed on our YouTube. So if you're watching this, you can also watch the results being streamed. It's also going to be in person. So if you're a GCU student or a GCU community member, you're more than invited to come down to the elections party where we'll be having food and drink and DJs. And we'll be, most importantly, announcing who is going to be our presidents and vice presidents for next year. That is going to be on Friday, the 10th of March. The party will start about 6 p.m. Candidates will be announced at around 6:30 p.m. So if you are going to be streaming it or want to watch it through the digital platforms like YouTube or Facebook, then tune in at 6:30 to watch it. If you want to come down and see it live, come down around 6 p.m. and we will be giving out some food and having a good time.
Mm.
Um, yes. So I'm trying to think about what other things people should know. What do you think would be helpful for students to know about voting
Whether
for the elections?
is there in Glasgow the opportunity to vote in person if you don't have?
Yes, so it is going to be now. It's the ballot box is a digital ballot box, so it's technically
Mhm,
in your pocket at the moment.
mhm,
It's going to be on your phones and on
mhm,
your computers, like I say, so you can access it digitally. We will at the Glasgow campus be out between 11 and 3 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with tablets and other mechanisms with a little nice little polling booth like
mhm,
they have at the elections that are actually still done with paper ballots. So we're going to have a little polling booth set out in the Annie Lennox building. We'll
mhm.
be manning it between 11 and 3 p.m. You can come down and cast your vote using our digital tablets. Also, especially if you're going to cast your vote digitally with us, at that point in time, you'll get to spin a wheel and you can win free food, free drink, or a little price. So it's a little bit of a sweetener to come and vote.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's the other thing I forgot to tell you guys. This year, especially for everyone everyone who votes, no matter, we don't know how you vote, we just want you to vote. Everyone who votes will be put into a prize draw for two 150-pound cash money giveaway. So it really pays to vote. It pays to vote because you're going to be able to choose who you want to represent you, and it's really important. These people are the ones who the university talks to about the student experience. So, and also takes insight from, and it's the ones that we often will help campaign for your causes with the university.
Yes.
So it's really important that you vote just because it's an important thing to do, but also we're sweetening the deal with 150 pounds that will be given away at the end of the voting period. We'll be announcing those also during the results night. So you can also tune in then, come see it, come down and see us at the reunion bar if you're in Glasgow, and you might have a chance of winning one of the 250 pounds if you have cast a vote, and that's anywhere. So also, if you want to be in that prize drawing, but you rather not actually rank your candidates, you can still what we call spoil your ballot. What that means is that you go into the vote through gcustudents.co.uk/vote, and at the end of the ballot, there's like the digital ballot, there's a little spoil this ballot box that you can tick. And basically that means that you are not voting. You want to be counted as voting, but you're not going to vote. That still does put you into the prize draw. So even if you don't want to really, really vote, but there is a way that you can still be put into that prize draw by going to the vote and spoiling the ballot. Of course, we hope you choose to get some candidates, but that's an option for you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. That's really interesting. There is another candidate on the stream.
Okay.
I'm actually just
Be much better than me talking.
No. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm just gonna invite them on now. Hang on, let me get them on. Add to stream. Oh, okay. Hi, Prodigy. How are you? Hello.
Hi, Alice.
How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, this, for your information, just for everybody that's watching, is an informal just chat conversation where we can talk a bit about yourself, your interests, etc., etc. And then there's another day that'll be more formal, where I'm going to ask you more specifically about why you're running, what your manifesto points are, and that's and yeah, also to anybody watching, if you have any questions now for any of the candidates, I should have said this earlier, was you can put it in the little chat or comment and I can ask them. But, my first question for you, can you please tell me a bit about yourself?
Okay, I am. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am Chidozie. Friends call me Prodigy, and I study a master's degree in environmental management. I am Nigerian, and I am someone who's always drawn towards good leadership, not just leadership. So I am a student, obviously, here. And in my time in GCU, I've been opportune to occupy a couple of positions which have led me closer to students. I am fortunate to be a postgraduate ambassador scholar, which by virtue of the scholarship I received from GCU, put me in a position where I need to always be out there for students. And I have been doing this from the very first day I got into school. I have tried to ensure students are well taken care of in my own as much as I can. I'm also the class rep of my class. I have tried as much to ensure students in my class they get the benefit of having an active class rep who makes sure no student is left unaided. I've been the disabled students officer in GCU. I've held address a couple of students who have disabilities, especially students with disabilities who do not come out to report it. Now we know that there's a lot of people with dyslexia, with learning disabilities who, for some reason, a lot of people still feel like disabilities are things that you should shy away from. So I've had to lecture lots of students on this, and through those lectures, students have come out to openly declare their disabilities and have received help. Now, I've also been a member of the University Senate where I've spoken for the interest of students. And lately, one of the things I tried to bring about, which I, by providence was accepted, was students having receipts in August. I felt it was unkind for international students, seeing that some students have their visas expiring in September. And by providence, the Senate has approved that receipts can be held earlier, protect the interest of students whose visas are just about to expire. So, in a summary, I'm one who is always drawn towards service to humanity, and those are kind of the reasons why I am running for president.
Nice. And on a personal, because on Thursday, I'm going to ask you more about your manifesto points, as I've said. But on a personal level, can you tell me about your interests? Like, what are you interested in? What do you enjoy doing outside of work and uni?
But basically, I personally I am a graphic designer. I love to design. I love to recreate things. I still wonder sometimes why I never got to do fine art, but I love to design stuff. And you asked the question why my personal interest in running for office here. So I have been a student leader in my undergraduate days.
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't ask you that. I asked you what your personal interests are. Like, what?
Okay, my personal interest.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. So
Yeah.
like I said,
Graphic
I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah.
I used to be a singer,
Okay.
but I stopped a while ago. So, but these
Yeah.
days I'm very drawn into graphics. A lot of times I just spend my time designing stuff for
Okay.
leisure. That's basically how I spend my time.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. What like logos or what sort of thing within graphic design are you doing?
Okay, so I was drawn towards doing 3D design at some point in life, but I couldn't finance a certain course in it because it was pretty very expensive. So I just settled for regular 2D designs, and that's what I do. So even while studying, I still do graphic designs for a couple of companies I used to work with. So I do it as a pastime and also as a side job while I study.
Okay, that's really interesting. That's nice. And my next question for you is, who is your hero and why?
If I want to pick someone to be my hero, that should be my mom. And I would say why my mom is my hero is because she let me she let me do those things a regular African mom wouldn't let a child to do. Now, growing up where I grew up from, it's the norm for an African mom to always want your child to be in school, come back, have your homeworks done, just be an academic all through your life. Now, my mom was more liberal. She believed in you exploring your potentials. So at the time when I wanted to do music, she was like, "You want to do music, yeah? Do music." So I did music, and I kind of at some point realized I wasn't wanting to do that, and then I grew love for graphics, and she funded me into going to one of the most prestigious graphic designing institutes in Nigeria. It's called NIIT. I had a couple of certifications from there, and basically, she's always supported every single dream I've got. So I'd call her.
That's really lovely. It's nice that she's so like supportive of
Very,
non-academic.
very supportive.
Exactly. It's a great mum. It's a great mum to have. Um,
Thank you.
yeah. And if you could live anywhere in the world, like money was without money, where would you live and why?
If I could live anywhere in the world, it would be Santorini.
Okay, in Italy.
No, in
This
Greece.
in Greece. Sorry, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I love Santorini for its rocky white landscape, and it's just been a childhood dream. It's always
Mm,
been there. I think right now I could take a trip to Santorini. I still do not know why I haven't been there, but if I
mm.
could live anywhere in the world, it would be Santorini. It's got a nice
Santorini.
beach landscape too.
Yeah, it's really stunning. Is that the place that has windmills as well, or is that another island?
Windmills, yeah, yeah. It's got lots of windmills.
Yeah,
It's sunny.
yeah,
It's sunny and windy at the same time in Santorini.
yeah. It's really
Hmm.
beautiful. Maybe, or hopefully, eventually you will be able to go and visit it.
Hopefully, but
Yeah.
I do plan to visit Santorini this year. I do plan
Okay.
to this year. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Hopefully it lives up to all of your expectations in that
I
case.
think so.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Okay. My last question for
Hmm.
you is what is your current favorite song and why?
My current favorite song, uh, it's the cover to "As It Was" by Harry Styles.
Hmm.
I've always loved "As It Was" by Harry Styles. You know the song?
Yeah, it's a nice song. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's a cover by Alice. I think it's Alice. His name is Alice, and it's Harry. As It Was is a fast, upbeat song, but the
Hmm.
cover by Alice is surprisingly a slow beat version
Hmm.
of As It Was, and I just
Hmm.
love the alteration in the beat, and that's my present favorite song.
Okay, that's interesting. Also, so the
Hmm.
artist is Alice.
I think it's if I'm not wrong,
Okay,
but
can confirm it's not me that's singing. But yeah, okay, I'll give it a listen for sure. And
yeah.
that really, we've got to the end of our questions. Thank you so much for
Okay.
coming. I'll
Thank
probably,
you.
if you booked a session for Thursday, I'll see you again on
Yeah.
Thursday. I can ask you more specific questions then. But yeah, thank you so much for coming,
Yeah.
and yeah, all the best for your preparations in the
Thank
elections. All
thank you so very much. We're doing
right.
our best and we hope for the best as well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. Good
Mhm.
luck with everything. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Later. Bye.
Bye, Alice.
Bye. Bye. Um, Sarah, I might just bring you up again whilst we're waiting for someone else to come on. Um, yeah.
Hello.
Hello again. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Good, good. So, yes, what do you think is the most exciting thing about voting?
Voting for me, definitely it's the chance of being able to have your voice heard as a student, like to get your voice represented. Like everybody of course has different manifestos, so yeah, like it's just interesting reading what people find interesting, and then
Yeah.
if someone has said in their manifesto, oh, I'm going to deliver on this thing, and that's something you believe in, yeah,
Yes,
this is a
I
really
can guarantee you that
important.
the top management of the university has read all these manifestos.
Yeah.
So even writing a manifesto, you are influencing the university, and also, yeah, it is exciting when you vote and then to find out. I guess it's one of those ones you get confirmation, or I guess you don't get confirmation if it's the person who you voted in who
Mm,
wins or not or doesn't win. So I guess it can be it's exciting experience, I think, in general, to
mm,
see whether it's like, especially if you are going for especially a really fervent fan of a specific candidate, then yeah, to see them actually achieve that is
yeah.
always great. It's great to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then of course with elections, there's also comes a low because there's some of these candidates are going to try really hard, and it is still an election, so there will be people who aren't successful. However, it's a good test of character.
Mm,
So I hope everyone grows from the election experience, and that's what we're here to also help do.
yeah.
So
And
um,
I should say if any of the election candidates have issues, right, they can
mhm,
come
Yes.
supportive things
So
like when I talk to you, isn't it?
yeah, so let me
Yeah.
explain my role. Actually, that's a good point. I
No,
haven't ever explained my role, what I'm doing here. Well, let me explain my official title, that I work for the Students Association. I am the Student Voice Team Leader. So I look after the student voice function that we have, which is our parliament. I also look after the student voice in general, about making sure that you have the access and ability to say what you want to, and that the university listens. Now, in this election specifically, I am the deputy returning officer. So, what that means is, as I explained to the candidates on the campaign briefing, was that I am both the good cop and the bad cop of the election. The good cop is I put on the election. I help organize it. I have a committee that helps me do that, a planning committee. Alice is part of that planning committee, as well as some other staff members within the Students Association. We planned this for 6 months at least. I believe our first meeting was in October this year. So we are looking at about a 6 month planning cycle to put on this election. So I help plan the election, I help lead that group, but also the bad cop is I'm the one who enforces the rules. So, and this is also important for all the voters to know too. So if you feel a rule is being infringed, or you're not sure, or something just seems fishy to you or wrong, come talk to me. Tell me what's happening, and I will look into that. I'll do investigations, and then if there is a rule breach, then I will put sanctions onto the candidates. So I am the good cop. I put the elections on, and I am the bad cop. I am the one who polices them. So that's what I do, and my role as deputy returning officer. Why it's called deputy returning officer is because there is a returning officer who purposely we've chosen someone who does not sit within the Students Association or the university, who's a little bit further removed, because they are my watcher. If I make a ruling and a candidate wants to appeal that goes to the returning officer, who is the final judge on whether a ruling has been, a rule has been broken or not. So we like to try to keep them as unbiased as possible. They barely know me. They don't know the candidates. They don't know what's happening on the ground. They only can tell what that ruling says and any kind of statements that are provided in the appeal process. So that is why I'm the deputy. But in a weird way, the deputy is the one who actually plans, runs, and polices it. And the returning officer is the one who is the appeal of who's the ultimate judge. So I am kind of working as a deputy, as the hand of the returning officer, but I'm the person on the ground.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
I should say as well, if anybody in London, any of the London candidates have issues,
Yes.
they
So I
can
am
talk
a
to me, but I'd have to forward to you, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So they can come in and speak to you real quickly, Alice, and you can get in touch with me. Also, I would really, really highly invite them to drop me an email. And I can set up a time where we can talk. Now we have all these lovely technology, like we're doing right now, where
Yeah.
I can talk to them via a video conference camera, MS Teams.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
I can send them a link, and we can get on and discuss what they want to discuss, and tell them what the rules are and what the processes are. I do not discuss strategy, because it is a fair and unbiased. But I will say whether the rules, whether what they're telling me sounds like to be within rules, I can help clarify the rules or clarify the process for them. So yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
so drop me a line, and I will, and you can either do it through
Yeah.
email, or if you want to speak to me, we can do it through a MS Teams chat.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
There is another candidate on the queue.
Okay.
I'm just going to
Excellent.
invite Ariane on. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And I will remove you. Hi, Ariane. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Yeah, basically today is just like a bit of an informal chat for everybody to get to know you, what you're about, etc., etc. So I have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
The first being, can you tell me a little bit about yourself as a person?
Okay, so hi, my name is Arun Srivastav, and I'm doing MSc Marketing from GCU Glasgow campus. Also, the officer, Central was just in Scotland. And about myself, I'm from Lucknow, which India. Prior to this, I have working for, I was looking at handles sounds like so yeah, that's all about like.
Sorry, you're breaking up quite a bit. Do you want to
Uh,
try? I'm not
can
sure
you
if it's your Wi-Fi potentially. Do you want to try again?
can you hear me again?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
So like should I tell again everything?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
No.
you.
Hi, my name is Arun Srivastav, and I'm doing MSc Marketing from GC Glasgow. And, currently, I'm the International Student Officer and NUS delegate for Scotland and UK at Prep. And prior to this, I was working for a public relations agency for the last 2 years, and I'm basically from Lucknow, which is situated in India. So yeah, that's all I'm like working.
Nice, nice. And what are your hobbies and interests? What do you do in your spare time?
So basically, my hobby, if I talk about, I love cooking. I am like I basically am into like I love to cook. And I'm a big traveling person, so when I go for.
Okay, cool. What sort of things do you like making, cooking wise?
So I love what I am having a perfect. So I'm like good in it. And like stuff like pasta and all.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Pasta's always nice. Yeah, pasta's always good. It's a nice and easy thing to make, isn't it? Cool. Next question. Can you tell me who your hero is, or who your heroes are, if you have
Like
more than one?
heroine like in like kind of film industry or something.
Just anybody. Who do you consider to be inspirational in your life
My
currently?
inspiration, if I talk about my inspiration, is Shah Rukh Khan. He's a Bollywood actor and a very renowned person because I like he's one of my idols because he started from a scratch. He was nowhere and like he did a really hard work for building a kind of stand for himself in each and every aspect. So I guess like that's what the thing inspires me a lot. That whenever you are from a, you should build your own empire. Like, work hard, do not sleep that much, work as much as you can. Nothing if you are something, yeah. So yeah,
Okay, cool. So yeah, just like as you said, like working hard, etc., etc., is it pays off. And
yeah.
do you have any like personal heroes, like anybody you know personally that inspires you?
My mother,
Your
I
mum.
would say my
Okay.
mother, my inspiration because some of the others, like when I was 2 years old, she completed with that. The other, she worked day and night. So some of the today she is a chartered accountant auditor and works for women rights and child. So I am really inspired from her. Like, start again. I would repeat the same line that she started. Yeah, I not say it on her face, but yeah, she's one of.
Okay. Would you repeat that last bit? You're breaking up again, sorry.
I won't say it on her face, but yeah, like she's one of my personal.
Yeah. She's your personal hero, yeah. Nice, nice. A lot of people have mentioned their mums. So I feel like
My mother
clearly,
always.
yeah, clearly people have inspirational mums for sure.
Yeah.
Next question for you is if you could live anywhere in the world, like money wasn't an issue, where would you live and why?
If money was not an issue,
Yeah.
so I have like that's something like I would choose London because like I like for the first time I went in December I went to London and I loved that. I was the each and every over there were really happy. So if money would have me, I would have.
Nice, nice. Where in like anywhere particular in London that you'd want to live?
Uh, I particularly remember if like it was somewhere around main city center where it was like the main kind of circle and all everyone was there.
Mm-hmm.
I would have stayed over there.
Yeah, it's a nice area. I live in London. Work at the campus here, so yeah, it's always interesting when
You're a
people say
lucky one
London.
then.
Sorry.
You're a lucky one then.
Yeah, relatively lucky. House prices not so much, but it's
It's
nice
really,
to live in London, of course.
I just like I was one day I was looking like whenever I complete my masters I would like get a job. So I was just looking for the location and everything, and it was really really expensive. So I was like, okay, I need to find something good to go stay over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You'll find somewhere, but it is quite hard,
yeah.
obviously. Okay. And my final question is, what is your current favorite song and why?
Current favorite song. It's a Hindi song,
Hmm.
and it's somewhere I feel like whenever I feel low. So
Hmm.
I that song, and it's of Bhag Milkha Bhag.
Hmm.
Uh, Zinda. So it whenever it feels like whenever I feel low and something that will just pump me up that I work hard. So I'm not
Okay.
a romantic kind of guy that everything like yeah I should listen to romantic songs and all, but just kind of thing a song which boosts you up is much better. Like you choose
Yeah. It's like a good motivational song
yeah motivational song.
for sure. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Thank you so much for coming. Basically, that was the 10 minutes,
thank you.
but I'll see you Thursday night for the more kind of political questions when I ask you about your manifesto.
Okay, about my manifesto.
Oh,
So
that'll be Thursday. Sorry,
okay. No worries.
that'll be next Thursday
Okay,
or this Thursday. I think
no
it
worries.
is. Yeah,
So that no worries,
yeah.
no worries. So
No
much.
worries.
Thanks.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Ariane.
You take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Um. Yeah. So I believe we have like three more candidates that are supposed to be coming, um, that have registered anyway. But I'll we got half an hour more, so we shall see who comes. I might bring back Sarah again. I'm such a bad presenter. I don't know what to talk about by myself. But yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that people should know.
Um, I think those were of course, probably as soon as I go off this call, I'll be like,
Your
"Oh, yeah, we
thing,
should have talked about that."
mention this thing. Yeah.
The importance of voting.
Yeah.
I guess so. One of the ironies about myself is, if you haven't realized, by my accident, and from that me telling you that I'm from America, I'm from America, and I've lived here for 15 years, in Glasgow, and I've worked at GCU Students Association for 5 years, doing democracy and the election. So it's a little ironic that I can't vote. And only recently was I ever given the ability to vote in a Scottish election.
Mhm.
So, you guys who probably are home students didn't realize that even if I do have my indefinite leave to remain, that's basically your green card, and I've been here 15 years, I paid taxes, I have kids, I have family, I have a lot of stuff invested in this country, but I can't vote.
Mhm.
So it's one of those ones that when you're disenfranchised from the vote, you feel it. And so that's where it's like when I want to get to that across is that you have a vote and it's important because if you didn't have that vote, you would feel it. So of course you'd go, oh, it's just another vote. But that's why I really would say to cherish that you can vote and to take advantage of that you can vote.
Mhm.
So in any election that you can vote in, including ours, but also when you go to your Scottish elections or your local elections and in your country elections too. So even if you are a student, international student who still has a vote in their country, go ahead and please cast your vote. It is so important for democracy because that's how it runs. And only when you don't get it do you actually really start to question. Like I didn't value my vote
Mhm.
when I was younger. Um, there's times when I didn't vote, and I can tell you why sometimes, and I have my reasons. But it wasn't until I did not have my vote did I go,
Yeah.
man, this sucks. You
Yeah.
know, Brexit, I couldn't vote. I couldn't vote in the Scottish, what was it called? The referendum. Couldn't vote in that. So some very, very important decision making that really affects my life, I couldn't vote in. So that is why, until you don't have that vote, do you not realize it? It's so important to use that vote that you have and and
Exactly.
cherish it.
Yeah,
So
exactly, for
I think
sure.
that's an important message that you need to get that people should hear.
Yeah.
So yes, when was the first time you voted? Do you remember the first time you cast your ballot in any kind of election?
Gosh. I couldn't vote in Brexit because I was 16.
Ah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
remember being really annoyed about that because similar to what you were
yeah,
saying about like the disenfranchised thing with Brexit, it really felt like this is such like a life-changing moment. And
yeah.
yet, like,
And
and
you
all
don't
my
have a decision
friends
making power in it at all.
exactly. So we had
Yeah.
no like ability at all to say what we wanted to say. So that was really hard. But
Mhm.
then I think when I turned 18, I feel like there has been a general election since there's definitely been a general election since I've been able to vote. Um, but actually, because I'm registered still in my home so I'm from Cardiff, so I'm
Mm.
registered in Cardiff. My mum, I do the research obviously, but my mum would do like I think it's called like a remote.
Proxy votes.
There you go,
You
exactly.
can't
My
do
mum
that in
would
our elections.
vote.
But
Yeah,
yeah, proxy, but you can do it in most other like big
yeah,
national elections. Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
we would always do. I think I've done like a proxy vote a few times.
Mm.
I did vote in my university elections. I have to
Good.
say, I did
Yes.
vote in my uni elections. Um, but yeah, in Manchester it's very different. Like you have different positions that you're voting for, um, and yeah, it was. I want to say it was a bit more naughty in Manchester. Like the candidates would go around and they'd be like, "Oh, here's your
Don't
vote."
give them ideas, Alice.
Oh no, but
Don't
yeah,
give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
I won't
I
say
had
what
to please it.
the candidates
Okay.
did, but I won't say what the
Yeah.
candidates did in that case. But let's just say it was a bit more like more cheeky. But yeah, I did vote in the Manchester elections, and then I remember feeling like, oh, okay, like what I believe in is is helpful and
Mm.
has changed things. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah, I need to register to vote in London. That's
Yeah.
my thing that I need to
So
do.
getting it moved, yes.
Yeah,
And especially down in England, it's not taking a force in Scotland so far, is you guys are gonna need registrate you guys need to show proof of voter proof.
yeah,
Yeah,
like an ID or something, isn't
an
it?
ID.
Yeah,
Now, just so
yeah,
you guys know, if you guys are just turning in, that's not our election. That's the
yeah,
elections down in England and Wales. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
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 but so if you are, so for your so our students who are in England and Wales or are from England and Wales, you need to get a voter registration card if you don't have something like, and I think most students do. You probably might have a driver's license. I think a passport works for you. But yeah, so that's another thing you need to do. Um, I'm not a big fan of that because I think voting should be we do have to make sure one of the things when you're running a vote is you need to make sure that it's robust and not taken advantage of because it needs to be free, fair, and that so there are those considerations when I'm running and I'm planning an election, but at the same time it needs to be totally accessible, and that's where I'm not a big fan of voter registration cards.
yeah.
It actually impacts accessibility of the elections.
Mhm.
So if you ask me, that impacts the whole free, i.e., anybody can vote who is a voter in that election can vote.
Yeah,
So
because like not everybody has a passport or an ID card, right? Like, you
So
know.
if it was in Scotland, I would need now I can vote in now Scottish elections. I can't vote in the big UK wide elections. But if it was in Scotland, for example, I would have a non UK passport and I would need to go get one of those special cards.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah.
just for people, and I was just checking this out, that it's not in Scotland yet.
No, no.
So yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't. I'm sure it's some form of attempted like repression on the part of the government in Britain, but
Possibly, but
yeah,
I'm
I'm,
not gonna.
yeah,
I'm only here to talk about democracy and the
yeah,
importance of it.
yeah. I
Afterwards,
won't get
we will,
into
we will
my
have a little session about what we think is going on,
yeah,
how
yeah,
that is happening and playing. But
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah. What else? What else can we talk about to do with the votes? Um, Oh, I should say, whilst I'm talking about voting, to any London students who are watching, if you wanted to run as a full time officer, but for some reason were too late with your submission, and you're still going to be in uni in October next year, you can always run in the London officer elections in 2023. Um, so this year there were 6 candidates, which is really good. I was really happy with it. Some really like excellent people have really nice ideas, and it's basically the London officer elections. I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're smaller, basically a smaller version of this, aren't they?
yes. So the London officer, and that's a good point to put out that we have in the Students Association. Of course, our full time officers, the ones that you're voting for right now, are the ones who spend their full time working for you. But we also have other elections that we run and
Mhm,
other positions that you can do whilst you're a student. These
mhm,
are often because the full time officer, you do have to either take a break from your course or be at the
mhm,
end of your course to do it.
mhm,
However, if you want to, like the London officer, for example, now they would still be doing their degree, and it's often a little bit like a small FTO election,
mhm,
just at the London campus, though. So only the
mhm,
people who are in London can vote for the London officer when
mhm,
that comes around in October.
mhm.
Same way you nominate yourself, and other things. So if you are in London, keep your ears open around October for that position opening and the nominations being
Yeah,
open, and you put yourself
exactly.
towards that. We actually have a couple other positions up here in Glasgow. Well, actually, it's available to London officers, Glasgow and London. Actually, I should
Mhm,
correct that. It's Glasgow and London. So we have, for example, our representation network officers. They are elected within their small groups every year, and those are about to open again for nominations in their small groups. So
mhm,
we have currently 11 different representation networks. They range anything from mature and part time students, international students, women students, ethnic diverse students, disabled students, um, Caledonian Court students, so that's the ones who
mhm,
live on campus in Glasgow. I am leaving some out. I know I'm definitely leaving some out. Oh, an ethical environmental network too. So those officer positions for next year are going to be put into. So you have to join the group on our the network on our website. So you can go to our website, look down for activities, I believe, and then you can choose one of those. And if you get into those groups, it's free to join. We will then send you emails to tell you that the when the elections are open for nominations and when
mhm.
the elections are open to vote. So you can both put yourself up to be an officer. Again, it is a role that you do along with your studies, so you don't have to take time out. You get help support. You often get a little bit of experience. Some of our officers are full-time officers who are in position now, were once representation network officers, and
Mhm.
some of them who are running are also representation network officers. So it's a good learning experience, and also it's just a good way. Even if you don't imagine going to become a full-time officer, it's still a good way to impact, especially your people that say you're a disabled student, to impact disabled students at GCU and their education and belonging here, or if you're a mature student,
Mhm.
or if you're a student carer or a care experience student. So there's other ways you can get involved, and they are usually done through elections. Of
Yeah,
course, we have other mechanisms. There's lots
yeah,
of different ways you can get involved in the Students Association because it is your Students Association.
mhm,
There's 12 full-time members of staff and about 600 volunteers who
mhm,
make the Student Association run. So again, that's why you guys are so important. It's your student association.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can help lead it in multiple
Yeah.
ways.
Exactly. Another way I would mention is the class reps. This isn't
Yes.
obviously class reps on, well, class reps are elected, so this is
Yep.
actually
Usually through their
through
classes.
their classes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So
usually at the
yeah.
beginning of the term, whether you came in January or if you started in September, they
Mhm.
usually ask in the class cohort to ask about who would like to become the. Sometimes they use it program rep, but more oftentimes it's class rep.
Mhm.
And if there's more than a couple students, because it matters on how big your course is, then we run a small election, a very small, just for your course, just people. So it's not like these big ones where anybody can vote, any student can vote.
Mhm.
So those usually happen at the beginning. And also, we have our department reps who are our senior academic reps who help
Yeah.
support our class reps. They are, we do those by a selection process than a election process. So those will open pretty soon at the tail end of this academic term.
Mhm.
And we'll send out some communications in our all student email and on our social media saying who would like to become a department rep. And if you'd like to step forward to become a department rep, then we do it through an interview with our full-time officers actually run the interviews along with usually the vice deans of the schools to
Mhm.
help pick the full who will
Yeah.
be their department reps for the next term.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, like as we're saying, there's so many ways that you can get involved.
And then don't forget clubs and societies and all those other ways too.
Yeah, of course,
They're
there's
really important also. And
yeah.
I know more representation because that's my area.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
clubs and society. I can like speak on societies in London.
Mhm.
But yeah, basically, if you're a London student and you're wanting to start a society, I know if you've got a particular interest in like gardening, I'm trying to think of
Beekeeping. I always wanted a beekeeping society. I'm
yeah,
still
like
waiting for a beekeeping
beekeeping.
society to start.
Exactly. Like
Who's
if you're
starting it, people?
where is
Because I
this?
can't. You guys can.
Exactly. This should be said. Like me and Sarah can't because obviously we're members of staff. But if you ever have any ideas that you want to see being like put into practice, like tell us what you want to see,
Mhm.
and
And
yeah,
you can start your own.
you can start
That's the
your own.
lovely thing about societies and
Yeah.
clubs. They're all student run and student managed.
Mhm.
So if you want to do something and gather a group of people around who wants to do that same activity with you,
Yeah.
for example, I think one of our really thriving ones in Glasgow, two of our thriving societies. One is chess club. We have
Mm.
people who really like chess and they wanted people to play chess with.
Mm.
So they started chess club, and it's a very thriving society. So again, somebody had a desire to play chess with people, and they started a society so they could do that.
Yeah.
And another one, for example, is Dungeons and Dragons Society up here in Glasgow. That's
Mhm.
just started, and another one like they like to play Dungeons and Dragons. I think I've never played, but I think you need like 6 or 7 people to play.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
Yeah.
and plus, it's nice to always, even if you have a core group of friends you might play with, it's nice to have different members and different things come in and meet new people. These
Mhm.
societies are really
Exactly.
good for meeting
Make
new
new
people.
friends. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
I don't know about you,
it.
but when I started university, I relied on quite a few societies and clubs. That's where I really made my friend networks.
Yeah.
I made a couple through my course and my program, but
Yeah.
most of my friend networks came through ones I met at society events
Of
or
course.
doing things on campus through
Yeah.
the Students Association.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really important way
Mhm.
of meeting people. There is
Yeah.
the candidates. I'm actually just going to invite her onto the stream.
Okay. Okay.
And but yeah, thanks
No
for
problem.
having me
Okay.
again.
Yes. Okay.
I'll see you in a sec. Okay. Hello.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
how
How
are
are
you?
you? How are you?
How are you? I'm fine. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Good. Just talking about like the different ways students can get involved with the
Oh,
Students
yeah.
Association.
Yeah. Yeah, I was.
Um, yeah, which leads me on to saying thank you for applying to become
Yeah,
a
no
full-time
problem.
officer. Thank you. Basically, today I'm just going to ask you some questions about yourself, like your personal
Yeah,
interests.
no
So,
problem.
yeah, so other people can get a bit of an idea of what you're like. So,
Yeah.
can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Ranmay Zadhav, and I'm a physiotherapist by profession. And I live in India, Maharashtra. And I have completed my bachelor's in 2021. And I have a 1 year experience before coming here for a master's.
Mm-hmm.
I am right now studying master's in physiotherapy in
Mm-hmm.
GCU. That's good.
Nice. Okay. And what are your interests and hobbies? What do you like doing?
Yeah, I love traveling and cooking as well. I love to make Indian curries. I love to travel a lot. I want to explore many places.
Okay. Where would you want to go?
It's actually everywhere. Like I want to roam every city.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly it is like coming here is a start for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to explore everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, even the smallest, like not even the big cities, even the smallest ones.
Yeah.
So, like having a list and then just going around.
Yeah,
Exploring.
exactly. Just having
Yeah.
a bit of a travel and seeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Long plan trips are the best.
Yes, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And my next question for you is, who is your hero?
Hero, as in,
Like, who
but
inspires you? Who inspires you in your everyday life?
inspires mostly it's my dad
Mm-hmm.
because I have seen him grow. I have
Mm-hmm.
seen him how he works towards his goal,
Mm-hmm.
and that inspires me a lot. Like I have seen what he's gone through and still how he is, and yeah, that reminds me to what like how I should be for myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. And how about anybody in like the public sphere, like any celebrities inspire you or anything like
Celebrities, like it not favorite, but I have seen many who like work hard towards their goal.
that? Mm-hmm.
Like they are new, but yet they think like they work hard so that they could be achieve whatever they want.
Exactly.
Right? It's
Yeah.
not one. I have seen many, so they inspire me. Like
Mm-hmm.
not a personal favorite as such, but yeah, the
Okay.
one
Okay.
who start from the like they work towards their goal from the beginning.
Exactly. So hard work is it seems like hard
Basic.
work is quite important for you then in that case.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Okay,
Yeah.
next question for you. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live and why?
Uh, there is. I would love to live in Switzerland
Mm-hmm.
because of the mountains and the sceneries. I love it. But as for city, I think London or New York.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah. But
Byron,
I'm more towards nature, so I chose Switzerland.
Switzerland's really beautiful.
Yeah.
All the mountains for sure, yeah. And
Yeah. The
then
view,
yeah,
the scenery is so good.
yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's a really lovely place. Um,
Yeah.
whereabouts in London would you want to live?
Uh, Mostly central London.
Mm, yeah, yeah,
That is, it's amazing.
nice. Yeah, you need a lot of money though.
London was a dream, and it is so beautiful.
Yeah, no, I live in
You
London right now.
actually go there, it like it's just it's different. The feeling is totally different.
It is. I know what you
When
mean.
you see in photos and you when you actually visit there,
No, it is.
it's amazing.
It definitely has its own like spirit, doesn't it? Or
The
its own
vibe,
like
yeah,
energy.
exactly. The vibe is amazing there.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
I'm lucky in that I live here. Well, I work at GC
Oh,
London, so
wow,
yeah,
that's nice.
yeah, yeah. I feel quite lucky in some
Yeah,
senses.
you are.
Yeah, but yeah, well, hopefully for you, you get to move to London in the long
Yeah.
potentially. Yeah,
exactly.
And my last question right now is, what is your current favorite song and why, or current favorite music artist?
Uh, Not artist. I love music like to boost up my mood.
Okay.
And whenever I feel sad, I just put my earphones on, and it's just the playlist or even the random songs. Like I love to listen to random songs because it becomes the next favorite then.
Hmm.
I have my own playlist, that's for sure, like the go-to thing. But I like to explore around. So yeah,
Nice.
that's the
What
favorite, but
what
it's like overall.
what sort of music are you? What genres are you exploring? What
It
are you listening to?
depends on my mood actually. Like what I am feeling right now, the songs come according to it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I
Okay.
if I want some inspiration, I would place that genre. So yeah,
Okay. So it really depends on what you're feeling and how
what
you're
I'm
feeling.
feeling. Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. One last question. You mentioned cooking. What are you enjoying cooking at the moment?
I love to make Indian food mostly. But
Mhm.
if I don't know what I want to make, so I would just look up the recipe and try new things.
Nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you get to find a new recipe you really like sometime soon.
Yeah, exactly. If I see something even on Instagram, I would like to try it. So I would just search for the recipe and try
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Okay, thank you so much for joining today. I'll hopefully see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, good luck with all your preparation and
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
everything
you.
else relating to the elections. And thanks
Yeah.
for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, I'll say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay. Need to figure out why the lights are turned off. Okay, I'll just sit here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. They're on like the lights are on, I think it's self timer, so if there's no movement, um the lights will turn off. We have 13 minutes left of the stream, so I'm wondering whether anyone else will show up. Do you not think so? Okay, I might actually end it in that case. Sarah, do you have any closing comments or anything? Anything that you'd want to add?
I would just like to thank all the candidates for standing.
Thank
Elections are a test of character. It is not the easiest thing to do, but it's very important to do um, for our democracy. So thank you for all the candidates who have stand, and to tell voters, please vote.
Yeah.
Voting is so important, as we have driven home, I hopefully today. Voting opens on Monday the 6th at, again, 10 a.m. and closes on Thursday the 9th of March at 5 p.m. So next week you can cast your vote, and you can cast your vote online. So with your mobile phone, with your digital device, or you can come see us when we are doing our election hub, which will be from 11 till 3 in the Annie Lennox building on voting days.
Yes, amazing. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to add on my part other than good luck to the candidates and thank you to
I want to
everybody.
know, what is your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song, man, that's such a tricky one. Oh my god, it's funny. I've been asking everybody these questions, but yeah, I don't know. God, what would my favorite be? I would say Valerie by Amy Winehouse. You know,
Oh, that
that's
is a good one.
good.
Yes. Yeah, you can really get
Yeah,
into that one.
that's
Yes.
really good. How about yours? What would yours
Oh,
be?
I actually have a go-to. That you'll probably, if you come to the election party, you will probably hear me
Oh
sing this
yeah,
song.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Okay. So the election, because we do, after the election results, we are gonna have karaoke with
Okay.
Radio Cali. So
Oh,
you'll have the
nice.
chance to sing your favorite song if you like.
Oh, yeah,
Usually,
yeah,
because after I'm done with the elections, I usually will have a drink, and
yeah,
then somebody goes,
that's
sing a
nice.
song. So the
Yeah,
song I tend to sing when it's karaoke. I don't do karaoke a whole lot. I don't go around, especially my voice is
Yeah.
not in very good condition at the moment. But it would be "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. Very
Why it's
nice.
good is because everybody else sings it for you.
Exactly. Yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
to do much
I know what you're
singing.
thinking.
Everyone knows that. Most people know that song.
Yeah.
More times than not, if you do it later in the karaoke event, people will belt it out for
Yeah.
you, and you can just basically go up there and have other people sing for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Amazing. So you basically you know how to get other people. How do I say this?
yes, because I don't sing very well.
Yeah.
So even if
You can
my
get
voice
other
was in
people
good
to
condition.
yeah,
So
you can get
yes.
other people to carry it for you. I like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
But
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
should we end it there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah.
So thank you for everyone joining us. Do you want to sign off though, Alice?
Yeah, thank you so much also for coming, Sarah, and helping me with my like random chatting bits. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. It's gone quite quickly, I have to say. It's gonna been a quick 2 hours, but
And
it's been
also and just to say that we're going to do a more serious one where we
yeah,
talk about the candidates' manifestos and what they want to achieve as full-time officers, and that's going to be at Thursday at 4 p.m. Same place, same
exactly.
bat time.
Yeah, and hopefully, will you be there as well?
Yes.
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 Okay. Well, you'll see us both there on Thursday. All right. Okay. I'm going to end the broadcast, but thank you again for everybody who's watched and who came and spoke. And yeah, thanks, Sarah. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.